we're not talking about just status quo. Are people going to stand up? Are they going to get involved? Are they going to say no to the current corruption? The way tyranny works is it only gets worse and worse until you stop it and then reverse it. And so we are going down the slippery slope here very, very, very fast right now. And the time is up. I mean, in your educated opinion, former head of Star Wars program, Air Force colonel, researcher, looking at history, looking at what's happening, looking at what the people running our government have done in other nations, do you have any doubt that they're attempting to set up a open, oppressive, hot, a despotic system? By hot, for those that don't know, no longer just a cold, creeping tyranny, but an aggressive, jackbooted, in-your-face tyranny?
No, they're certainly heading in that direction. There are elements, and again, I think they're in the minority. They're certainly a small minority of the population, but unfortunately, they seem to be in the majority in Washington, D.C., and this small minority certainly has control of major elements of our government, and we need to cut those strings. We need to get big money out of politics. We need to take our government back so that it starts serving us again. And besides ending the wars, we also must demand that we get the return of our full constitutional rights, that we do away with the Patriot Act, the Military Commissions Act, and all the other acts and executive orders that have tried to take away our constitutional rights. And by the way, all of those acts are unconstitutional. Congress does not have the power to take away the rights that are given us in the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights. They can't take those away by just passing a law. They have to pass an amendment to the Constitution, get it ratified by the states. Of course, that hasn't happened, and that won't happen. So we don't have to follow the Patriot Act. We don't have to follow the Military Commissions Act. Those things are totally unconstitutional.
All right, Dr. Bob Bowman, I was about to go to some calls. We had some concerned military people on the line, and they hung up. Again, we can always load the phones with the people on any issue, except sometimes I specifically want certain people to be able to call in. Former military that's concerned, current military, people that have been involved in these drills. For those that just joined us, U.S. military is training with police nationwide to take on the Tea Parties. They're brainwashing police that the Tea Parties and returning veterans are going to attack them with guns, and they're claiming that we're white supremacists. It's all mixed in, and the military did leak these documents. The military admits they were doing these drills. So the good news is the military is concerned and is leaking these. But I want to get people's take on this. 1-800-259-9231. I mean, don't tell me that our military and our police are so cowed listening out there, that you're so afraid of the NSA that you're not going to call in and tell us you're concerned. The government's main focus in the real drills and preparation isn't just for the American people and Tea Party folks and in the fetters. It is for gun-owning veterans who have military training. That is in both the drills held the 23rd and 26th. Okay? And this is part of NLEO 10 going on, where NLEO 9 admitted they're using foreign assets in the drills, foreign troops in these drills to go up against you. This is the high treason. This is serious, what's going on all over the country. That's what the staged terror attacks are about. That's what this whole system is about. And we've got mainstream media claiming the Oath Keepers are treasonist. This is fully disgusting. I mean, this is absolutely disgusting. Let me just read what Oath Keeper stands for. We will not obey any order to disarm the American people. We will not obey any order to conduct warrantless searches of the American people, their homes, vehicles, papers, and effects, such as warrantless house-to-house searches for weapons, as you saw in Louisiana. Number 3, we will not obey any order to detain American citizens as unlawful enemy combatants or to subject them to trial by military tribunal. We will not obey orders to impose martial law or state of emergency or a state on a state, or to enter by force into a state without the express consent of the invitation of the state's legislator or governor. What's in the John Warner Defense Authorization Act? It talks about putting down governors. What, you see the states saying no now to government takeover? Number 5, we will not obey orders to invade and subjugate any state that asserts its sovereignty and declares national government to be in violation of the compact of which the state entered the Union. Number 6, we will not obey any order to blockade American cities, thus turning them into giant concentration camps. 7, we will not obey any order to force, cops just got convicted under federal orders last month from, 4 or 5 years ago in New Orleans, shooting people trying to walk out on the highways. Remember that? Shooting them under order, just mowing people down. Unarmed people. We will not obey any order to force American citizens into any form of detention camps under any pretext. Number 8, we will not obey orders to assist or support the use of any foreign troops on U.S. soil against the American people to keep the peace or to maintain control during an emergency or under any other pretext. As Henry Kissinger said, during staged crises, they could bring in UN troops. We will consider any such use of foreign troops against the American people as an invasion and an act of war. Number 9, we will not obey any orders to confiscate the property of the American people, including food and other essential supplies, under any emergency pretext whatsoever. Number 10, we will not obey any orders which infringe upon the right of the people to free speech, to peaceably assemble, and to petition their government for redress of grievances. How is this treason? Anybody that violates this is involved in treason, Doctor.
And I keep wanting the Oath Keepers to add one more to that, and that's to promise not to follow any order to participate in a war of aggression.
But again, I mean, you swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution from enemies foreign and domestic.
Yeah.
I mean, reading the oath, it goes further than Oath Keepers. And I've read old Army handbooks from 50 years ago that were more clear than this. But now this is treason to actually be a patriot.
Yeah, they're trying to turn things all the way around. That's why I've called my organization the Patriots. We need to take that back, make it a good word again, and make people understand that we who are protecting the people of the United States are the patriots, and those who are trying to subdue us are the traitors.
Dr. Bob Bowman, stay there. We'll talk about more of what you're doing at your website, your book, your materials, your newsletter on the other side. And we do have some people calling in now, Roger, Tom, and a lot of others. Folks, they are quietly training everywhere to take us on, and they're going to stage terror attacks to do it. We'll be right back.